With us, Eddie Goldman from No Holds Barred. We're here at Madison Square Garden. This was a press conference to promote the Anthony Joshua versus Wladimir Klitschko fight. It'll be in London, and both gentlemen were here. And tell me your thoughts, Eddie. You're the analyst.
This is going to be the biggest fight of the year anywhere in the world for a whole lot of reasons. First of all, the winner of this fight will be universally regarded as the top heavyweight in the world, especially since Tyson Fury is on the shelf at this point. You have a classic matchup. Wladimir Klitschko will be 41 years old at the time of this fight. He held a whole multitude of belts, numerous belts, since around 2000, and was undefeated for 11 and a half years until he faced Fury at the end of 2015, and of course lost in a horrid fight where he was
that was sort of a shame.
He looked absolutely terrible. Anthony Joshua is 27 years old, 2012 Olympic gold medalist in London, 18-0, 18 knockouts. But he has not faced the top level fighter as experienced in the accomplishments of Klitschko. He's knocking out guys on a lower level. And in fact, that's not a critique of him. He's actually ahead of where they thought. They didn't think he'd be fighting for a title for another year or two. It was just the circumstances of Fury getting stripped of his title and all the boxing politics that went on. Got him the IBF title last year, and now he gets this unification. Again, it's boxing politics. The WBA super title will be at stake because the winner will hold two belts, the IBF championship, which now Joshua holds, and the WBA said, well, we'll call the WBA super champion the winner of this as well. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't exist really in other sports, but that's going to be the reality of it. More to the point, this could be the passing of the torch, to use these cliches, the changing of the guard from the Klitschko era. Vitaly, of course, is retired. He's mayor of Kiev, Ukraine. And Wladimir this might be his last fight, or it's certainly among his last fights, which he even admitted. Like I said, he's going to be 41 in March. So Joshua has the future ahead of him. A lot of people see him as the future of boxing. Beyond that, if he continues to win, he has a chance to unify a bunch of these belts. So you'll have one fighter holding all of the four major sanctioning body belts. But he has to beat Klitschko. He has to then face Deontay Wilder, who holds the WBC belt. And he has to face the young 24-year-old Joseph Parker, who's also unbeaten, who holds the WBO belt, and then deal with mandatory challenges. If he sort of clears out the division and runs the table, he will become a worldwide star who has the potential, for many reasons, to become nearly as popular as Muhammad Ali. And that's a major statement. The first fighter that I think, since Muhammad Ali, to have that real worldwide love and appeal. His parents are from Nigeria. He was born in the UK, in Watford. He lives in London with his mother, and he has a child also. He's not married, but he has a child. And he was recently training in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. And he's the kind of guy, he's good looking, he's humble. You heard the press conference. They weren't throwing chairs and tables. They weren't calling each other names. Both guys are confident they're going to win. This is certainly true, and it's professional boxing. It's supposed to be that way. But very respectful. Two Olympic gold medalists, one from the past, 96 is Klitschko and Joshua, going up against each other. The past and future of the heavyweight division. Who wins? Is it too early for Joshua? Is he too inexperienced? He's looked great, but against, guys who are lesser, not A-level competition, who are
A lot of questions to be answered. Is it too early? And is Klitschko, is it over for him or not? As far as he says this is perfect timing. If it would be another 3 years down the line, it probably would be too late. He's going to be 41, but right now, Klitschko feels strong. He feels that he can take this title.
And this fight, from a media aspect, this will be on Sky Sports Box Office, which is pay-per-view in the UK, at Wembley Stadium. 90,000 seats. It's a football stadium, which Americans call soccer. They're going to have 90,000 fans watching it live. The pay-per-view, they expect to break the British record of well over 1 million pay-per-views just in the UK alone.
So there's interest.
In Germany, it's going to be on RTL, which is a free-to-air channel that shows the Klitschko's fights. They expected to break the record there. When Wladimir a couple of years ago fought David Haye, they had 16 million people watching. They expect to break that record. And in the U.S., as we speak, we'll know soon, both Showtime and HBO are negotiating and figuring out what to do, because Klitschko is fought on HBO and Joshua's fought on Showtime. And will they both show this fight? Now, again, in the U.S., it'll be shown on Saturday afternoon. So it's not, they may run a repeat in the evening. So that's going to affect something also. But it's going to be a huge international fight. I'm seeing articles written in Africa, in the Middle East, all over the place about this guy, Anthony Joshua, knowing who he's fighting, and Wladimir Klitschko, who for a generation, him and his brother dominated the heavyweight division. What's going to happen? We could, Joshua is the favorite. It's in London, and all of this, and we saw that Klitschko looked awful in his last fight. But there are still all these questions. They still have to fight in the ring, and it's really an intriguing matchup. And I'm also heartened by the respect that they're both showing each other. They're going to go in and fight. They're going to try and knock each other out. It's boxing. It's not, tiddlywinks. But that's the way it should be. Two gentlemen, two sportsmen, respectful in the noble art of boxing, bringing some nobility and respect back to the sport of boxing instead of the nonsense that we've seen in other fights and in other sports. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Saturday, April 29th. So I'm looking forward to the result also. Thank you, Eddie Goldman.
Thank you, Kristal Hart.
My favorite. No holds barred. Thank you.